Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Ruth Ann wants to go to Portugal, so Portugal's amazing. I actually sailed there with Azamara in 2019, so pre-COVID. Great. We did a Lisbon to Barcelona. So thank you for joining us here tonight. We're really pleased that you've chosen to join us here tonight. My name is Team Friesen. I'm the franchise partner with Expedia. I'm joined by the talented Margarita from Azamara. She's given up her night to join us, walk us through her great product. Before we get to her, though, just a little bit about us. And we've got a nice video. Hopefully it's going to play. So
we'll try it out.
Okay.
Stuff. We love stuff. And there's some really great stuff out there. But I doubt that any of us will look back on our lives and think, I wish I'd gotten a slightly sportier SUV, bought an even thinner TV, or found a trendier scent. I wish I'd discovered a crunchier chair, found a lighter light beer. Had an even smarter smartphone. Do you think any of us will look back in our lives and regret the things we didn't buy? Or the places we didn't go?
Okay. Well, playing video down on a webinar sometimes a little bit of dicey. So basically the point of that is, we've just gone through 36 months of pandemic, being locked in our homes, not being able to do the things we love to do. And now that we're free, let's make the most of every vacation. And yeah, that's why this is such a great brand, and we're really excited to present it to you. Who is Team Friesen? So that is me and my lovely wife. We were a lot younger by the looks of that. That's wow. That's obviously pre-pandemic. We have been in the travel industry for 16 years. Now it's time to update the slide. I got a team of, it is definitely time to update this slide. Team of 275 consultants from Kenora to North Bay, Windsor to Toronto. My team is amazing. We are one of the top centers with Expedia Cruises in North America. And if we think like back to 2019, we had 8,500 passengers travel with us, and for 2023 we're going to surpass that by a ton. Business is back, people are ready to travel, and my team is ready to take care of you. Go to the next slide if you could for me.
Yeah.
My center's locations, just click it one more time. We are in Thunder Bay, Windsor, Woodstock, Sault Ste. Marie, Sudbury, North Bay, 2 stores in Burlington, 1 in Hamilton, and 1 in Ancaster, Dundas, that just reopened. So super exciting. And we are going to Sarnia and Chatham later this year, and St. Thomas and Orillia in 24. The travel industry needs more travel agents. We are ready to be your travel agent. One more slide. I just want to show you my team. I'm so proud of my team. We've cruised over 1,500 times. Our job is to make your trip better than you could book it yourself. We know things that you can't know, that your Google machine cannot tell you. We have a firsthand knowledge. We've been there. We've sent clients there. We want to be your travel agent. We want to help you create memories and fulfill dreams. That is what we're about. And there's this thought that you can book directly with the cruise line and get a better deal. The cruise lines will never sell to you direct for less than they let the travel agents, because we wouldn't want to sell their product. So we work really, really well with the cruise lines. We have group space, we've got amenities, we have promotions you can't get by booking a direct as well. These are just a few of my pictures from my team. My team does seminars at sea. We train at sea. We learn the product, and we want to be the very best travel agents that we can. So I think that's my last slide. So with that, I want to turn it over to Margarita. Thank you for joining us tonight. Walk us through your amazing product, and why do we want to sail with Azamara?
Yeah, so welcome to Azamara, everybody. I'm so glad to have you join us. We are a beautiful boutique cruise line. We were part of a Royal Caribbean family. Oddly enough, today is our first official date of independence. So we were sold back in January of 2021. The last piece of the puzzle was to come up with our own booking engine, which launched today. And shortly after we were purchased by Sycamore Partners, we rebranded ourselves. And our brand positioning statement is, Azamara lets explorers immerse themselves into cultures and locales at a more relaxed pace, discovering destinations by day and night, resulting in a richer, more fulfilling cruise experience. So how we do that is on our 4 ships. We've got the Journey, the Pursuit, and the Quest. All of them have been refurbished in 2021, and the newest baby, the Azamara Onward, was refurbished just last year, and she launched and came back to the waters as the Azamara Onward in May of 2022. So she has been in the water for almost a year. You'll notice that the ships are quite similar. They're all the same size, and they almost all carry exactly 700 guests, with the exception of the Onward, which has some more suite accommodations. Our crew is 408, and what that means is the crew to guest ratio is 1 to 1.7. So means attention to detail, feeling that they are there to serve you, and they really do want to make it the best cruise possible. I'll talk about our crew in a little bit, but we have got just an amazing crew on board all 4 of our ships. We are sailing the globe. We had the Azamara Pursuit that was in South America this past winter, doing Buenos Aires return, Buenos Aires to Rio, Buenos Aires to Antarctic. We had the Onward in the Caribbean. The Journey was in Africa, doing West Africa on the way down to South Africa. She'll be doing West Africa on the way back to Europe. And then the Quest was in Australia, New Zealand, is heading over to Japan, and will be doing the Spice Routes on her way back to Europe as well. So this summer we'll be focusing on Northern Europe, Western Europe, and the Mediterranean. As far as what sets Azamara apart, we really do invite you to discover the world and destinations at a more relaxed pace, giving you the opportunity to appreciate the landscapes, the cultures, the people by day as well as by night. So we want to have immersive experiences, cultural experiences, and anything after 8 p.m. is considered a late night stay. We have over 850 late night stays. But in addition to that, we have 380 overnight stays. So if there's an itinerary that you're looking for in Europe, there is a good chance you're going to be able to experience both late nights as well as overnight stays. And as I say, we do have a number of country intensive voyages. We also have cultural experiences, wine and cultural events. We have Formula One going into Monte Carlo. So we've got a lot of different opportunities. So that in a nutshell is why Azamara, the immersive itineraries, late night stays, overnight stays, country intensive voyages, and of course the fact that our ships are smaller and able to get into smaller ports of call. In 2023, we bought back our As Amazing events. And these As Amazing events have been broken down into As Amazing Evenings, where we take everybody from on board the ship to an event. I love telling this story. My brother was on the pursuit going from Buenos Aires to Antarctica this past winter. And when they got into Uruguay, they took everybody off the ship. And he called me when he got back and said, I can't wait to tell you about this. So I'm calling you now. Look what I am seeing. And he was on his veranda with his phone. And he said there were 16 coaches, beautiful coaches, that took all of us to this event. Each coach had a destination guide on board who told us about the culture, the food, the iconic places that we must go and see while we were there. They got to the theater. They brought everybody into the theater, and then they removed everybody from the theater in the most organized and pristine way of getting them back onto the coaches, where they were met at the ship by the captain, the entertainment crew, the hotel staff, the bar staff. They were handed a glass of champagne and basically, as he said, piped in by the band on the deck as everybody was boarding the ship. And so he just said it was an incredible experience. He works in the entertainment business. So for him to be calling me while on board to let me know his experience, I thought that was a pretty proud moment for me. The As Amazing Days, I have experienced those. We were in Cinque Terre, and the tender brought us in. And as you walk to the left, there was a beautiful grand piano playing. They were serving mimosas as well as espressos. They were savoring different kinds of cheeses and pastries. Then we walked around a corner and we were met by an opera singer. And again, different types of pestos were being tried. And then we walked down a small, narrow street and there was a quartet playing. And it was just, you know, the best of what Italy has to offer as far as music, culture, food. It was all there in a nutshell. I think I did it quickly because we were just learning the route. It took me about 20 minutes. Most people I spoke to said it took them an hour and a half to do the walkthrough. It was just because they were taking their time and really experiencing it. If there are those destinations where we simply cannot move 700 people together, we bring the entertainment on board and the experience on board, and we call that our destination celebration. I love this shot. It's in Monte Carlo. It obviously gives you an idea that we are there late at night because you can see how dark the sky is and all the lights are on the casino and the little yachts in the water. We are walking distance to the Formula One track. And the other reason I like it is it shows that our white night events, we get rid of all of the deck chairs and put in these linen tablecloths. And what you can't see is underneath this photo, the barbecue that is going on or the food preparation. And it is quite a feast. If you can believe it, I had one client actually complain about the amount of food that was being served. I thought, if that is your complaint for our white night event, that is something else. So it is something that we encourage you to pack your white shirts, white sweaters, if you're in a northern climate, and just definitely partake in this amazing party at sea. We have a great video. I'm going to try and play it at the end, but it really does sort of illustrate what our talk track is. And we want to, stay the night, unwind, and just slow down. And we do that by spending more time in port. And because we're smaller, we're able to get into some of these less traveled ports and city centers. And I'm going to go through a couple of really quick itineraries to just show you what I mean by getting closer to port. We have in 2025 a 10-night Bordeaux and Normandy sailing. It departs from Lisbon and goes to Southampton. It's a 10-night voyage. There is one overnight stay, and you'll see that the overnight stay is actually in Bordeaux, France. So Bordeaux, very well known for the wine regions and the wines that it produces. And so what I want to illustrate is that when the larger ships come into Bordeaux, or where they say they're going into Bordeaux, they actually will dock in a bigger port called La Rochelle. Our smaller ships of only 30,000 gross tons can go right down the Gendron River, and we dock right in Bordeaux. This, from La Rochelle to Bordeaux, is an hour and 40 minutes. If you're there for one day, you could be spending up to 4 hours sitting on a motor coach. So this is great that we do get into the heart of Bordeaux. Generally speaking, most times that we're in Bordeaux, we're there overnight. So it gives you a chance to look at these majestic buildings one day, and then perhaps go off to the wine regions the second day and experience everything that it has to experience outside of there, as well as seeing the transition from day to night. I'm going to talk about Perry Gulf quickly because it shows the reason why we would love working with Perry Gulf. They've been around since 1984. We've been working with them since 2011. They do some fantastic international luxury golf vacations. This year we have 23 different voyages that have 70 marquee courses in 23 countries. The majority of these, I think there are at least 20 of the courses that are ranked in the top 100 of Golfers Digest. So Ireland's Royal Portrush, Scotland's Turnberry, New Zealand's Cape Kidnappers. We also golf in Spain, South Africa, Japan, Dubai. So lots of opportunities to try golfing as you cruise. What is included are your green fees, your tee times, all the transportation to and from the golf course in a luxury coach. We offer practice ranges and golf balls. There's a welcome and farewell cocktail party on board. We'll even pack you a lunch for the day and offer you an open bar when you finish golfing. So it is a great casual tournament format. We have a Perry Golf manager on board, and we also take care of all your gratuities, including the drivers and the golf handlers, etc. The nicest thing about Perry Golf, I think, is that your golf clubs are there waiting for you at the first tee, and they are taken back to the ship from the 18th hole. So you never have to carry them to the coach. You never have to store them in your stateroom. So that's a great thing. And golfing started in Scotland, and I know that somebody had mentioned at the beginning that this is their bucket list destination. This itinerary is happening in August, and it is departing from Amsterdam, going into Edinburgh, and then it circumnavigates Scotland. Perry Golf has 5 different golfing itinerary, five different golf courses to choose from. So the package includes all 5 golf courses. It's a 12-night sailing, 10 ports, 2 overnights. So you have 1 overnight in Leith, which is basically Edinburgh, and then you have another overnight in Glasgow. The ship docks in Dublin, Ireland, and then you could either get off in Dublin, or what we're finding a lot of people are doing now is stay on in Dublin and continue on for an additional 10 nights doing an Irish itinerary. So it's a 10-night Ireland intensive. It has 8 ports of call. You'll see that you are overnighting in Dublin. So again, if you're a golfer, you can golf one day and then go and have Guinness the next day. Or in Belfast, you can go golfing one day and then perhaps do the Black Cab tours rides, or go and see the Peace Wall, Londonderry, Donegal, and then we end up in Southampton. And again, you could get off in Southampton or continue on to where the journey takes you next. So some great late night stays in Dublin, Belfast, as well as Cork. So great itinerary. There are some other fantastic itineraries. This one is not so much country intensive, but starting in Lisbon in September, going to Rome. So touching in on Portugal, Gibraltar, Spain, Monaco, Italy, and ending up in Civitavecchia, which is the port call for Rome. So again, not just country intensive. We do a variety of different European itineraries. I did a great one last year. It was from Lisbon to Amsterdam, and that was an 11-night sailing, and just some really unique ports of call like Visby. We went into Guernsey, so really great stuff. Not very many ships will do the west coast of South America. This itinerary in 2025 will be going from Lima to San Antonio, but we will also be doing the other side of South America, with this 7-night Antarctica quest in 2024, doing Buenos Aires return going into Antarctica. The one thing I do want to tell you is when we go into Antarctica, we cruise very slowly through the glaciers, giving you ample time to see the wildlife and the penguins, but we do not actually stop and dock at Antarctic Sound or on the peninsula. But as you can see, we are cruising through there for 2 full days. So that's a beautiful itinerary. I did mention that we go into Africa. Our South Africa itinerary, we dock in Cape Town on the return and overnight there, so you can utilize the ship as your floating boutique hotel. Japan, this is definitely on my bucket list for next year. So when you get a country full of different islands, it's a great way to see it. So Tokyo to Tokyo return, a 15-night Japan intensive, 1 overnight stay. I believe it's in Kobe. Yes, it is. And then 12 ports and 4 late nights. Australia and New Zealand, we were lucky enough to get back there in 2023. And this voyage on the journey it's this year actually, will be docked in Sydney Harbour for New Year's Eve. So if anybody has been looking to go to Australia, looking for a unique experience for the fireworks in Sydney, this might be something that you want to add to your bucket list. And our destinations really do come to life with these added land packages. Most of our guests have a passion for authentic travel. And with Azamara, that means when you come aboard, you're setting sail to the open sea and then sailing and exploring well beyond what the sea has to offer. So we take travelers where no one else does, unrivaled destinations, smaller hidden gems. And as I say, you can always do an add-on Mikado Safari in South Africa if you want to go to Victoria Falls or Kobe National Park or Kruger National Park. Those are great opportunities to go with Mikado Safaris, but there are other land packages as well. So you can look for As Amazing Journeys, or simply if you want to add 1 or 2 nights either before or after the journey, that would be a pre or post night stay. So allowing you to spend more time in the destination. If you want to see a lot of the world, we have a 2024 as well as a 2025 World Voyage. Both of these are on the Azamara Onward. Both of them are 155 days. They differ slightly in their itinerary. 2024 departs from Fort Lauderdale, circumnavigates the globe to Barcelona. And 2025, we start in San Diego, circumnavigating to Southampton. If you book all 10 segments of the voyage, you can save over $20,000 worth of inclusions, including round-trip business class air, 1-night hotel pre-voyage, all your transfers to and from the hotel to the ship to the airport. We offer luggage shipping reimbursements, exclusive World Voyage events. There's a pre-night gala, destination enriching experiences throughout the voyage. Plus, remember that Azamara includes all gratuities, all food, all beverages. So that is definitely a plus. And then, of course, on this World Voyage, we have weekly laundry servicing as well. So you don't have to take everything you own on this voyage. So as far as what our ships look like, we've got these beautiful boutique hotels. Really does feel warm and fuzzy. And one of the biggest reasons for that would be because of our crew. So in the lead here, we've got Captain Johannes. He has just returned from Australia. I believe he's going back onto the quest. But all of our crew, people will follow them on social media. They want to know where they're going. Where is Eric DeGray, our great entertainment coordinator? Where is he going to be when I'm sailing? Is he going to be on my ship? So they follow social media. They really do interact with them. And I think that is because they get to know them while they're on board, and they really do develop these great relationships. So often we'll say, for the first time you've come on board, welcome on board. And then after that, it really is welcome home. So as far as what the ship itself looks like. This will give you an idea of what our atrium looks like. It's not floor to ceiling 10 floors, but it is warm and cozy, and it has all been refurbished in the last year. Each of the ships have a unique piece of art right under the column at the top of the stairs. Behind you is guest relations. When you walk up the stairs to the left is the Mosaics coffee bar, and everything on board, it has a country club casual feel to it. So it's never stuffy, but you know that you'll be taken care of and that you're in good hands when you're sailing with Azamara. As far as accommodations, I'm going to start with the Continental Suite. It's a great start off point. Every time you book a suite with Azamara, you have a complimentary specialty dining. We provide you with a butler, so you have an English butler service. You have a setup bar, so if you happen to be drinking one of these bottle setups and you're realizing, oh, I'm running out of gin, you just simply contact your butler and let him know. They will help you with anything that you need on board, shine your shoes, polish your glasses, help you unpack or repack. So butlers are fantastic on board. You've got this beautiful veranda to sit in while you're sailing or coming into shore while you're having your breakfast outside. But there are other benefits as well. We give you complimentary Wi-Fi minutes, complimentary laundry service every 7 days. So it's more than just the space. But of course, we know that there's a lot of different people out there. So you could go into a World Owner's Suite or Spa Suite if you're looking for more space than a Continental Suite. And if you don't need quite as much space and all those amenities, 50% of our itinerary are the veranda class. So again, you've got the beautiful veranda, lots of open air. And then we do have some fantastic amenities available as well when you're in a veranda class. We do have ocean view with a picture window, and only 10% of our inventory has an inside stateroom available. The living room would be the main hub in the evening. So people will ask, well, you spend a lot of time in port. Is there anything really that happens at night on Azamara? So starting with afternoon tea service at 4 o'clock, going to the dining room and then coming back for maybe wine and tapas. There's a bar service available. There's a band playing until 10 o'clock. And then after that, we do have a DJ. So some nights, especially on those itineraries where we're getting back to the ship before 8 p.m., you will find that people will have dinner. They'll go to the cabaret lounge to watch the show, and then they will dance until the wee hours of the morning. So it's quite fun. We have places where you can feel anchored. So the drawing room is available on the Quest, the Pursuit, and the Journey. And we have converted that room on the Onward to Atlas Bar. Atlas Bar is a great bar in the evenings. It is actually quite packed, but it is great for anybody who's looking for smoked scotch or a specialty martini like our Earl Grey martini, those sorts of things that are our signature drinks. And definitely if you're going onward, you need to check out Atlas Bar. And after our next dry docks, the drawing room will be converted to Atlas Bar on the other 4 ships as well. But otherwise, the rooms are all called the same. The cabaret lounges, the cabaret lounge on each of them. That is where you will find nightly entertainment, whether or not it's a comedian or a magician on board. Sometimes we bring on local entertainment, but we do have a fantastic entertainment crew on board led by our cruise directors, and it might be a salute to Broadway or a salute to Andrew Lloyd Webber. The spa, great if you want to go for a massage or a facial, get your hair done, but we also have a fantastic fitness facility. And just looking at this picture, you can tell for the size of ship we have a pretty extensive fitness facility. We also offer complimentary nutrition and fitness classes while you're sailing. And then our iconic evenings. So we do have white night events, but I'll tell you, when we were in Honfleur, France, I thought I was being a real smarty pants and went off the ship and thought, oh gosh, we're in France. I must buy bread and I must buy cheese. And I got back to the Windows Cafe and I said, who wants to share cheese? And they said, that's really cute, but go inside and look to the left. And there the chef had taken a crew with him. And there was a table that had to have been 9 or 10 feet long and at least 3 feet deep with wheels of cheese and baskets of baguettes. And I thought, well, isn't that fantastic? And then when we were going through the Kiel Canal, we had an Oktoberfest festival out on board the ship, which had like the Papa band and bratwurst being cooked on the barbecue and sauerkraut and Black Forest cake. So again, bringing that destination alive on board. Those are the kind of iconic events that you will find on Azamara. When we talk about dining, of course, anybody who talks about cruising always wants to know what's the dining like. We do have 2 specialty dining rooms. These dining rooms have a $35 per person surcharge unless you're in our suite accommodation. The nice thing about them is they're a really intimate environment. I would recommend as soon as you get on board to go up to Deck 9 Windows Cafe, book your specialty dining to avoid disappointment, especially if you've got an iconic, like a special birthday or a landmark anniversary or something like that. The service is fantastic. The food is terrific. My dad was on board recently and he said he had a Chateaubriand on Prime Sea, which was a piece of meat that he has never experienced before, nor does he expect to experience such a thing again. So coming from him, I know that our food, it's not just me, you know, one of the best chefs I know has agreed with me that the food on board is fantastic. So if you are having a special celebration, make sure you book early. But we do have other alternatives. The main dining room, which is Discovery, is available for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, tableside menu service. And we have an open dining policy. So it's dine when you want, where you want, with whomever you want. So that's for Discoveries as well as windows and the patio. And the patio and windows have buffet style breakfast and lunch with many, many opportunities or choices to choose from. And then in the evening, it becomes an alfresco dining. So if you're looking in a warm temperature to dine outside, definitely try one of those options. And I know sometimes windows will do, you know, a taste of Thailand, or we're visiting Mumbai tonight. And so some of the best Indian cuisine you can have is on one of those Mumbai nights. And I know people, when I was on board, they had actually gone to Prime Sea twice and had booked it again and then thought, no, we're going to go to Thai night in Windows. So they canceled their reservation for Prime Sea to go to Windows. So really lots of choices for everybody. I will say that Discoveries and Prime Sea and Aquilina will not allow shorts in the evenings nor tank tops. So just if you could keep that in mind as well. Otherwise, it is country club casual on board. Everything that is included on Azamara, we have the cultural events, so our As Amazing events, as well as the events that happen on board, our White Night events and other activities that we include. Our gratuities are always included. Food and beverages. So of course, anything from coffees and pastries at Mosaics to all the fruit and salad you would want at a buffet to those great meals at Discoveries. Those are all included. And as far as drinks, we have a select number of spirits. We have imported beers. Most nights there would be a variety of about 4 reds, 4 white wines, a sparkling wine and a rosé. Sodas are always included, bottled water. So when you're leaving the ship and you want to grab a bottle of water to go, that is available for you as well. And then, as I say, coffees and teas. So when you go to Mosaics and you want that morning cappuccino or that late night espresso, that is all included. We do have a self-serve laundry facility on Deck 7. So we provide everything that you would need to do your laundry, including soap and ironing board, and then concierge services available. In many of our ports of call, we do offer a shuttle service, but not on all ports of call. So we're not actually including it. But when you get on board, you could certainly talk to the concierge or guest relations and find out where shuttle services will be provided for you on your journey. And really it comes down to why Azamara. It is, would you like to spend more time in port? And we've done a number of surveys, and ultimately we do come out #1 with the longest amount of time in port compared to some of the competitors out there. I'm going to try and play this video. Hopefully it works.
Look beyond the obvious, and perspective is open to change. When you see parts unknown in ports less known, unwind, stay the night, and just slow down. Wander, but never wonder what a place is really like. The difference is night and day. Azamara, change the way you see.
So I'm just going to quickly highlight a couple of promotions that we have on right now. We have our wave offer. It's only available for a little while longer. It's available until March 31st, but on select sailings right up until April 3rd, 2024, you can save up to 40%, plus receive a $300 onboard spending credit. As Sean said, we work very, very closely with Expedia, and they have come up with an agreement with Azamara for a number of dates. And when I say a number, it's probably close to 20 different dates in 2023 as well as 2024. And it's only available through Expedia. And when you book any of these sailings, you receive an additional credit of $150 per stateroom. So it would be combinable with the wave offer of $300 onboard spending credit plus the $150 onboard spending credit. And for a limited time, and this is only available until April 5th, when you book with Sean's offices, you will receive an additional $250 onboard spending credit when you book a suite, $200 when you book a veranda, or $150 onboard spending credit when you book an ocean view stateroom. So on that note, I'm going to just pass it back to Sean. I'm going to say thank you very much and make sure that you have all of his contact information. And if you've got any questions, do let me know.
I've got a question, Marguerite. So if the grats are prepaid,
Yes.
and if the drinks are prepaid, what
Yep.
would I use those shipboard credits for?
Oh, Sean, what a great question. You will be able to access your shipboard credits before sailing. So I would always encourage you to go and have a look at what you want to do as far as when you get to land and use those shipboard credits for your shore excursions. For those sea days, I would use my onboard spending credit in the spa. I happen to love jewelry and purses, so I would go into the shops and spend it there. Yes, those would be the things that I would focus on: shore excursions, spa facilities, or shops.
Very
And
good.
in that, you're right. You don't need them for gratuities. You don't need them for drinks. So yeah.
Yeah. What I love about this brand, I've cruised several times, down in my life. I love the smaller size. I love the lack of lineups. I love that you go into the buffet and they already know your name. It's not a problem getting off the ship, getting back on the ship. I think that when you've sailed with thousands, it's nice to start to sail with hundreds. So if you guys have got any questions whatsoever, we would love to answer your questions while we're waiting for see if anybody has any. Reach out to your consultant. We can book into, I think, spring of 25 now.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
So spring of 2025. Remember, for this cruise line, the ships have got 275 staterooms, and so that's it. There's only four for the ship. So if you really want to go to South Africa, there's a very small window to go and a very small amount of staterooms to book into as well. So reach out to your consultant. We would love to lock you up and get you planning to help to create those memories. I mean, that Japan, we've currently got a client sailing Japan on the Quest, I believe it is, right now, and they're posting pictures. Yeah, fantastic. I'm going on a cruise from Athens to Venice. Since it's only 7 days, will there be a white night?
Yes, most likely there will be. White nights are dependent on the weather, and we tend to do them when it's either a late night or an overnight stay. So if yes, so I would say the majority of the times we always have a white night. We might not necessarily have an as amazing evening, but there is a way to tell if you have an as amazing evening, and that's simply to look at the shore excursion inclusions, and if you can print the e-brochure or just look at the e-brochure copy from our website, you'll be able to tell which one is your as amazing evening. But yes, most likely there will be a white night event on your voyage.
Great question. And the white night is fantastic. We were in Malaga for the white night that I did, and it was a beautiful night. And I mean, the food was just incredible, and it was
Yeah.
a beautiful night. It's just really, really neat to be outside. You know, the whole ship is there too. So,
Yeah.
well, we have no more questions. So with that, I'm going to thank Margarita for joining us. And yeah, it was just really, really great to talk to you. Listen to you about your great brand. And thank you for joining us tonight. And we look forward to helping you plan a fantastic Azamara cruise. So thank you, everybody, and have a great night.